Hello everyone, this is Hot Cherry here, and we are back at FTB Interactions on TWPI. So, I've been busy working. I've moved most of the machines, items, etc. over here. And I still have setups on the Void Island, but I made new setups for here. Now, one thing we've been working on is we made a whole bunch of steel off camera and proceeded to make a bunch of steel plates. And what we're doing is we're currently working on getting some LV machines set up. Now, made some circuits. Circuits are relatively straightforward. You need red alloy cable, you need some vacuum tubes, some resistors. Resistors is just coal dust, some paper, and some copper wire. The coal dust, you're actually given a whole bunch of it as a quest reward to kind of give you a boost, because coal is kind of to get in the beginning. The copper wire, right now we're just using a wire cutter and a copper plate to make the wire. It's very inefficient, extremely inefficient, because this is essentially 3 ingots for 2 wire. But so what we're doing is we're getting a few machines built so that we can alleviate that. And the first machine we're going to build is the wire mill. Now over here I've done a few setups. I got places for our soon-to-be boiler setup that's going to be coming up. That's all set up in place so that I know where to put things. And the other thing I did is I set up a tree farm outside this wall here for mineral. And I'll do a short tutorial on setting up these tree farms later, so it's not in detail. But basically we're using the tree beacon and a hopper hawk to do that. But we'll go over that. Now this is a temporary setup. These heavy high pressure steam boilers, typically I actually would never make these. I would just mine a lot and plow through it. But this seemed to be a faster intermediary route. So what I'm doing is the tree farm is basically fueling these. And outside of that, we got 2 ever-full urns, keeping the water levels good on these. And I have all of this going into a single steam turbine. Now these turbines, they can pretty much only power a single machine at a time. And that's fine, because we can break the machines with pickaxes. That's not an issue. And this is a very, very temporary setup, because once we get the boiler going, we're going to have like full walls of machines going. But until we have that boiler going, this is how we're going to do things. And the reason we do it this way is we're basically going to have the wire mill up, and we're going to make all the wires that we need to make the other machines that's going to be required to get this boiler setup going. And then once we have all of the parts for the boiler setup, we'll go ahead and get that built. Now I don't know if I will build the boiler setup this episode. We'll see. I could try like pausing the video off and on, but for the most part we're just gonna get the first couple of machines done and start building some of the parts, because I really don't see us having time to get through all of it. We might get the first 2 of the improved coke furnaces done, but we're gonna end up making, I believe, 5 of these. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correction, we're going to be making 9 of these setups. That's all more than I thought. But, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll be making 9. But that will provide all of the Creo that we need to power the boiler and give us a plethora of steam. In fact, I think it might be enough Creo to power multiple boilers, but because it takes more fuel when it's heating up, and then the amount of fuel it requires after it's heated up is not that much. So we may look into doing 2 boilers, but for now we'll start with 1. Anyway, so moving on, we need to get the wire mill made, and we need to get the metal bender made. And those are going to be our first 2 key machines. And this next one may sound strange, but the third machine we want to get as soon as possible is the centrifuge. And the reason we want the centrifuge is because of a very specific byproduct you can get from tin ore. Now, when you centrifuge impure tin dust, you get tiny piles of zinc. And why this is important is you can use zinc to make brass, which will save a ton of time and resources. So I have some copper plates going. I'm going to get those tin plates going too, because we're going to need some tin wire. And making the wire is pretty simple. You just take your wire cutters, which it looks like I might have to make a new set. We will see. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a new set, so we'll get that done too. You just take your wire cutters and you cut the plates. And that's basically how you make wire in this manner, and it's very inefficient. The next thing we need, let's see, wire cutter. 3 plates, 2 rods, and a screw. Do I want to do steel? I don't think I want to do steel. What? Do I have a wrought iron in here? No. So, let's see. That's 6 right there. 7. No. 9. Alright, we'll make some wrought iron real quick. Where did I put my fire? There it is. And we'll just wait a minute for this. And just like that, it's done. It actually takes way longer to cook. Alright, 10 plates. Throw those in there. And grab the file. Alright. Throw 1 rod right there. Where is my saw? Plop. File. There is my screw. What tools do I need for the screwdriver, file, and hammer? Alright. So you can go away. We'll take the screwdriver and we'll take a hammer. Grab the wrought iron plates. There is our wrought iron clippers. Alright, now take this tin, use up those, and here we go. And use up that. Now, to make the tin cabling that we actually need, we're basically stealing people's carpets and making wiring. I stole all of this carpet from Hakera. Do not tell him. No, I'm joking. We shared a bunch of sheep. But we basically need to make wiring this way for right now. Now, eventually, we'll be making wiring by coating it with rubber. But for now, this is how we make wiring. And we got those there. What else do we need for the mill? Just 2 wire. And bam, just like that, we got a wire mill. Which is great, because now we're going to save a ton of materials making wire. Now normally you would build things in bulk, but because we're so short on materials right now, we can't really afford to do things in bulk. So the next machine we're going to want is this. So we're going to need another 4 motors, which is 16 copper wire to begin with. And this is about to get a lot cheaper. So beforehand, to make 16 copper wire, you had to have 16 plates, which I believe is 24 copper. Now, we just need 8. So that will drastically lower the resources we need. So now that we have that copper wire thing going, we got a few other things to do. Let's make some more rods. I said we need 4 of these, so we're gonna need 12 rods. Now the lathe, I believe later you'll get 2 rods per ingot, but right now it's 1-to-1, which is tolerable. The lathe is going to be one of the last things we make. The big thing that it saves on is actually screws, because you will get a screw for every single bolt as opposed to getting a screw for every 2 bolts. It's a drastic difference there. So now we're going to make the magnetic rod, which is currently just redstone and iron. Eventually you will want to make a machine that will make these, because the higher rods all require that machine. But I believe you only need the LV version. The The higher tiered versions, the only thing it adds is speed. So you don't have to make more, but it's useful if you make more. Let's see here. So we're gonna need, I already know we're gonna need 8, but how many more are we gonna need for this machine? All right, so that's another 4. That's 12. And this makes, do we need any for the circuit? I didn't even think about the circuit. No. But we will need 12, 13. So another 6. And actually, I'm in the old mindset. We only need 3 ingots to make 6. Get some more carpet. We are going to have some very bald sheep. I'm going to have to go and get more carpet. I think there's actually a quest for you to get like 128 of it. I should probably bite the bullet and go do that. But, all things in time. Alright, so we're gonna need pistons now. Alright. So you actually go right here. You're gonna go there. And while we're at it, let's start getting these parts in place here. Alright, so I need plates. Now I do have a bunch of plates here. 1, 2, 3. So 6, 7, 8. Is that 8 plates? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 8 plates. And 4 rods. So let's first grab our hammer, grab our file. Alright, and 4 rods, there we go. Alright, so the gears, the rods, and the plates, and we get our 2 pistons. Grab you out of here. This is going to require a wrench to build. So we just need one more circuit. Now I got a partial circuit here. So what we'll do, let's take a look at what we're missing. We're missing 3 wire. And we're missing 2 vacuum tubes. So let's make a few of these. Now, I had already preemptively made a bunch of the glass casings for the vacuum tubes, but essentially what you do is you make glass dust, which is pulverized glass. You just put a block of glass in a macerator and you get that. And you take one of these ball molds right here, and you plop the mold in one slot and the glass dust in the other slot. So it is pretty simple to do. I could also dye stuff. I'm making enough string now that I could just make wool, maybe. Can you craft wool? Is wool craftable? Wool is not craftable. You have to shear it. Alright. Well, scratch that idea. Alright, so there's 6 of these. So I'll slap that across there. And we're gonna just steal that paper there. Grab the glass tubes. And boop. Makes our one circuit. And now we got a metal bender. Now that I think about it though, we are actually gonna need another circuit. So let's I do have enough for one more circuit. Cool. So let's get that made. I feel like most of this video is me running around. I'm gonna have to maybe set up a warp point or something. I'm running over here. Alright, now the reason we need another circuit is so we can make a programmable circuit. Alright, so plates. Now if you take a look, metal bender with program configuration 0 makes plates, and it's 1-to-1. That is going to be a massive saver when producing like bronze plates and brass plates, etc. So that right there is like a big deal for us. But now that we have that set up, I mean, we can start just mass producing things and getting the parts we need. So the next thing I said that we're going to need is a centrifuge. And to make the centrifuge, we're going to need 4 circuits. It doesn't end. It never ends. Alright, so it's 3 per circuit, so I need to make 12 of these. I'm going to have to process some copper too, so let's get that going. And actually, now I think about it, I'm gonna need more than 12 because we got the we have the other ones to do too. Now, one good thing about at least these ones is eventually you can use fine copper wire, which is you put one of these wires in there again, and you get 4, so you can exponentially increase that. Oh yeah, you can do it with this one too. Why have I not been doing that? We are doing that right now. I had the wire mill. I could have had so much more. Why? Alright. So that is gonna take a minute to cook. I'll grab it after this pass real quick. Grab this last one because there we go. That'll be enough for it to finish. Sigh. Alright. Oh, that's right. I needed 24 just for this. Alright. This gives 6, so... I need more of those. Now, the coated circuit boards is basically sticky resin and wood planks. Wood planks is sawdust or wood pulp or whatever put in a compressor. And the wood pulp, you basically just macerate a log and you get wood pulp. Pretty simple. Pretty simple contraption to make. Alright, now I'm gonna need 12 redstone wire. Yeah, 12. I'm gonna need more carpet. Is it day? It is day. So, and I do have shears. Let's go shear some sheep. It's a new day at that. This is our little garden we've been working on. Here soon we will actually have gardens of almost all of the various types of vegetables. But for now, there was a lot of sheep out here. Now there's only a couple. I know there's more this way, but I don't see a hippogriff. That's our astral island up there. I kind of wonder if I put my cave illuminator up there, if it would like illuminate the entirety of the bottom area here. That would be pretty sweet. At some point, if I ever get a reusable morb or something, I'm gonna capture like all of these sheep and just put them in a pen. 614. Is there any other out here? Where are those guys at? Looks like they're at... What vein is this? This vein's massive. Quartz, right over here. Alright, good to know, good to know. Looks like I got an iron vein here too. Which is good, because I've almost mined out the other one. Sounds crazy, but sure enough, almost mined it out. Hey, you, come here. I need your fur. Thank you. Gonna need a bunch of both white and black sheep. Alright. Need a little more. Just a little more. Flip. Give me more than one. Sweet. Alright, let's head back. That'll be enough for now, I think. So with this, we got an additional 21, and then if I take some of my dye, and we dye this, we have even more. Alright. And actually, I had a little more right here. I have just enough. Huh. But we'll save that. We'll save that in case we need it. Alright. Now we're gonna need 12 strings. So let's go and get this wire made. And then we'll make our circuits. What is this? Bonus wire? Really? Alright. I can dig it. I can dig some bonus wire. I don't mind. I believe I have paper in here as well. I do. Alright, let's put away some of this extra stuff that we have. So let's put the conduits and binder away, because we don't need that on us. We don't need the wire cutters on us right now. We got this, and we got that. Let's grab some paper, and let's go ahead and make a few of these. Let's like go all out. I want to do more than 21. We'll do 22. That's enough for 11 circuits. Or actually, we should do 32 of these. Because that way we can make the 16 circuits for the thing. So let's go ahead and do that. How are you on fuel? You're okay. Yeah, this base is like so freaking big. When it's done, it'll be nice. Oh, there is one thing over here I haven't shown off. We did start working on a multi-block cooking for Blockhead's kitchen. So that's nice. Alright, so we got the 12 wire, so let's go ahead and get that made. And just get our circuits knocked out. We do need this. And I'll take care of that. The other thing for the centrifuge is we're going to need some motors, and we're going to need some more tin cable. So we'll throw that right there. Use our last MV hole. Throw that right there. And for motors, so we're going to need 8 wire, 8 copper wire, plus 6 tin cable. So that should be enough right there. To knock this out and get these starter machines going. Now, when these machines get done, we're probably going to have a steam turbine per every machine. And that may sound crazy, because it's like, oh, you got battery buffers and such. But the problem with that is cables are not lossless in this pack. You lose power as energy transfers along the cable at a rate of 1 voltage per line of cable. And that can result in you not having enough power when you're all throughout the base. However, steam can be transported anywhere, especially with things like this. Now this looks expensive, and it looks complicated. It's not. The shifting star is a very easy construct to make. It looks like it's really bad, but it's not. It's not bad at all. And this is the first tier altar. Just requires a little bit of thaumium, which we'll get to that when we get to that point. But the big thing about this is that you essentially, you make that, and you have it connected to, say, a dynamic tank. So you have steam coming out of the tank into the wireless node. And you put in these GPS markers. Now, this saves the location of a block and will allow you to wirelessly transfer the fluid. Apparently you get one as a reward for building the evaporation tanks, but we won't be getting into that just yet. We'll get into it eventually, but not just yet. So looking at that, that looks like the best way to transfer the steam, because we can keep everything centralized over there and chunk load it and then just bring up like a tank here or something. It could power all these machines, or we can have like a machine room with rows of machines and tanks, and that would just power them. And I believe it has like 8 slots, so we'll probably need to set up 2 of them, which is fine. But that will be how we do the beginning, the very beginning power generation. And that way we can focus on other things and also get into automation, because we're going to be automating a few things as we progress. So let's put those there. And that just leaves the plates. So we're going to need, or not the plates, but the rods. We're going to need 6 rods. Two of them need to be magnetic. So grab that. Did I set you up wrong? Of course I did. There we go, centrifuge. Alright, and with that centrifuge, we will now be able to centrifuge things like copper and our tin ore, and we'll be able to get the byproducts. Now, the impure copper, I believe, gives us nickel. That's what I thought it did. It gave us nickel, which we'll use for something else. So yeah, I think now that we have these machines, I am going to go ahead and stop this episode right here, because we built our first few machines, got that started, and the next thing we're going to work on is just mass building parts, plates, and wires and everything else in order to get this built. So I will call it here, and we will go ahead and pick up once we get into this section. I think the next episode will probably start off with Thaumcraft, so that we can get some of the research done and get to making thaumium, and then we'll proceed to build out our boiler setup. So with that, have a wonderful day. and we will see you next time.